What a thrilling night for the Toronto Maple Leafs! After a stunning 6-4 victory over the Boston Bruins, fans are buzzing with excitement. Matthew Knies shone bright with his first career hat trick, but that's not all. Austin Matthews made a powerful return, and Mitch Marner showcased his playmaking magic. Could this dynamic trio be the key to a deep playoff run? Stick around, and don't forget to subscribe and like for all the latest updates on your beloved Maple Leafs. Wow, what a night for the Toronto Maple Leafs. A thrilling 6-4 victory over the Boston Bruins, showcasing the dynamic talents of our top players. Matthew Knies stole the show with a hat trick, his first in the NHL, plus 2 assists for a total of 5 points. Can you believe it? After a 5-game point drought, he really turned it around, and it was all thanks to the return of Austin Matthews. The chemistry between them is undeniable, and it was on full display. Matthews came back strong after missing 6 games due to an upper body injury. He scored a goal and added 2 assists, reminding everyone why he's such a critical part of this team. His ability to create chances and finish plays was pivotal, especially in those clutch moments. It's almost as if he never left. His performance not only boosted his own confidence, but also electrified the entire lineup, allowing players like Knies and Mitch Marner to thrive. Speaking of Marner, he had a stellar game too, racking up a E in goal and 4 assists. This marked the 5th 5-point game of his career, tying him with Babe Dye for the second most in franchise history. His vision on the ice is just incredible, and he showcased that with some brilliant setups. Marner, Matthews, and Knies formed an offensive juggernaut that overwhelmed the Bruins. They combined for 5 goals and 8 assists. That's a serious firepower right there. But let's talk about Joseph Woll for a moment. He made 27 saves to secure his 4th consecutive win. While he did allow 4 goals, I wouldn't put that on him entirely. The Bruins were relentless, and he faced some tough shots. That said, he showed great poise under pressure, especially when the game intensified in the 3rd period. It's clear he's earned the trust of the coaching staff and his teammates. I mean, can you feel the confidence building in him as he continues to rack up these wins? Now, looking ahead, the Maple Leafs are gearing up to face the Philadelphia Flyers in a back-to-back series. With 3 consecutive wins under their belt, they're in a prime position to build on this momentum. But I can't help but wonder, will they be able to maintain this level of play? That's the million-dollar question. The team is looking to solidify their playoff position, ideally snagging that home ice advantage. As passionate fans, we all know how crucial these last few games of the regular season are. The energy is palpable, and the stakes are high. You've got to love the intensity of playoff hockey, and this team is certainly gearing up for it. I'm genuinely excited to see how they handle the pressure. Do you think they can keep this momentum going? I, for one, am cautiously optimistic, but a little anxious too. And what about the impact of Matthews, Knies, and Marner? Their synergy is something special, and you can feel the excitement in the air every time they hit the ice. It's like watching a well-orchestrated symphony. But will it be enough to carry them deep into the playoffs? That's a question I'm sure we'll all be debating in the coming weeks. So, what do you think? Are you feeling confident about the direction the Leafs are heading? Or do you have some concerns about how they'll perform against tougher competition? I want to hear your thoughts, so drop your comments below. Let's get this conversation going because your opinions really matter to me. The Toronto Maple Leafs have just unveiled their all-time quarter-century team, and I've got to say, it's a mix of nostalgia and excitement for the current squad. When you look at the forwards, it's no surprise to see Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and Matt Sundin leading the charge. I mean, these guys are arguably the best forwards in the history of the franchise, especially since the turn of the millennium. Matthews is in the conversation for one of the top 5 players in the NHL, combining a jaw-dropping skill set with a Selke-level defensive game. Marner, with his incredible points-per-game ratio, is right up there too, showcasing not only offensive prowess, but also defensive skills that are often overlooked. And Sundin? He was the face of the franchise in the early 2000s, leading them on memorable playoff runs, and his legacy is undeniable. On defense, we have Thomas Kaberle and Morgan Reilly. Kaberle was the quintessential power play quarterback, consistently delivering for the Leafs during his tenure. He may not have racked up as many points as Reilly, but his reliability on the blue line during the late 90s and early 2000s was vital. Reilly, on the other hand, is the modern equivalent. He's been the go-to offensive option from the back end since he entered the league. His playoff performances, particularly in last season's second round, showed he can elevate his game when it matters most. The one knock against him might be his inconsistency, and I know that frustrates many fans. But let's be real, a Leafs team without Reilly is hard to imagine right now. In goal, it's pretty straightforward. Ed Belfour takes the top spot over Curtis Joseph, and it's easy to see why. Belfour had an impressive 2002-03 season, showcasing a stellar GAA and save percentage. But it's telling that neither of these guys spent more than 3 seasons with the Leafs. That really illustrates the struggles the team has faced in net over the past quarter-century. Moving on to the second team, we see a mix of current stars and past icons with William Nylander, John Tavares, and Phil Kessel. Nylander has blossomed into a key player, hitting the 40-goal mark 2 years running and on track to do it again this season. He signed that 8-year extension, showing he's committed to bringing a championship to Toronto. Speaking of commitment, Tavares' signing was monumental. It sent a message that the Leafs could attract top free agents again. He's been a consistent contributor ever since, even finding a new gear after handing the captaincy to Matthews. Then there's Phil Kessel. His time in Toronto was filled with ups and downs, but let's not forget the weight of expectations he carried. He was expected to be the offensive savior, and while he faced his fair share of criticism, he went on to win 2 cups with Pittsburgh. It's a testament to his talent, even if his time in Toronto was tumultuous. On the back end, we have Bryan McCabe and Dion Phaneuf. McCabe had his moments, but also some defensive blunders that frustrated fans. Phaneuf was a lightning rod for criticism, largely due to his hefty contract and captaincy, yet he brought an edge to the team that had been missing for years. In goal for the second unit is Curtis Joseph, who was solid during his stint in Toronto. His standout season in 2001 is still remembered fondly, showcasing just how crucial he was to the team during its best years. Now, here's where I stand on this whole lineup. I think Cujo deserves a spot on the first team over Belfour. Sure, Belfour had some amazing seasons, but he didn't stick around long enough to make a lasting impact like Cujo did. Overall, I think the selections are spot on, and I can't really think of any glaring omissions. So how does this all impact the future of the team? It's a blend of honoring the past while building a competitive future. But here's the question I want to throw out to you all. Do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm a bit torn on it. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the lineup? What are your expectations for the current squad as we head deeper into the season? Share your opinions in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the action.